So thank you for the warm welcome. And actually, I welcome you again back to Istanbul, back to Istanbul Technical University. I'm Associate Professor of Management and Entrepreneurship at the university, as well as the Deputy General Manager at the Science Park. So today, if my presentation comes up, okay. So I will talk about growing your startup in Istanbul. Istanbul is the city for very long years. For centuries, Istanbul is the city. So it might be the first large city of the world, bringing together different cultures, cuisines. So that's why you will feel at home here. So no matter you come from east or the west, you are at home in Istanbul, and you should be at home at ITU too. So ITU is the prime engineering school of Turkey. We have a number of faculties, a number of departments teaching all kinds of engineering. So there's a strong engineering vibe here in the campus. As well as, in addition to that, we have strong connections so Turkish Airlines simply fly everywhere directly. So no matter where you live, you can take a plane and directly fly to Istanbul, have your startup grow here, and sell your products and services wherever you want, including San Francisco. So this could be your home base to further grow your startup across the world, and also we help you to do that in US too. So one of the advantages of having your startup in Istanbul is that there is a large team of people, including government agencies, as well as the school, the professionals, that tries to help you build your business. So today I will talk to you about this. First, I will make you a brief description about what we have, what we are offering to startups. If you want to grow here, depending on your profile, what type of needs you might have and what we have as an offer to you. I will talk about this I have 25 minutes, so I will try to make use of as much as possible. So Politecnico is from my last presentation. Sorry, I did this presentation in Italy a few weeks ago, so it was a leftover from that. Sorry for that, for that mistake. And then I will tell you about Istanbul. Although for some days you are experiencing Istanbul, I will give you some data about what we have at hand. And also, we have some lessons learned. We use these lessons to evaluate startups when we try to choose them to our programs. So these are some guidelines for you about how we choose what startups to support, and as well as what we learned, how the VCs in US, a couple of them are here as well during the program. So that's our interpretation of their criteria. So I will tell you about how to make better businesses so that you take the forefront in the competition and get our support in these programs too. So I have 3 objectives. First, ITU. I'm sure some of you have listened to Arzu's presentation yesterday. Who had a brief about ITU before, or is this your first time? Okay, so pretty much it's the first time for many people. So ITU is the Politecnico of Istanbul. It's the multidisciplinary engineering school. It's coming from the German tradition. So Istanbul Technical University is like TU Berlin, TU München. So this is TU Istanbul. It was established many years ago, hundreds of years ago, by a group of German professors with the Ottoman Empire as the naval school of the empire. So it supports the army and navy of the empire. But over time it generalized, it developed into a full-scale university. And also the system over time hybridized with the US. So now we are implementing an American system here, although the roots are in continental Europe. All our programs are accredited by US. So if you get a diploma from one of our departments, so you have 100% equivalence with the engineering departments of US, because all the programs are accredited in US. So you have this equal credential wherever you go. And also in terms of number of programs who are accredited by the US body, we are the top school. So ITU has more schools, more departments, more programs accredited than any other university in the world, including Georgia Tech, MIT, and whatnot, all others. So it is a large school. And the school has a science park that we run. It is actually a technology development zone, which creates this vibe you might be feeling now. So there are 275 companies of various scales, small, medium, large, global. Cisco, for instance, one of its prime innovation centers here in Istanbul at our science park, it might be the first one out of US at that scale. We have many large multinational companies as well as very bright startups and scale-ups. So in these 275 companies, they are exempt from a number of taxes, so that's the good word. When you land in our science park, the government allows us to give certain tax benefits and tax holidays to startups who are doing R&D, developing innovative products and services, and doing marketing and sales out of this R&D core. So if you are a science-based or R&D-based, innovation-based company, this is the place that you should be at, because then you're almost in a free zone and government lets you live without many of the taxes and the benefits that you should be paying. And we are the R&D export champion of Turkey. So apart from the military, we don't have much military here. So this is the largest civilian technology cluster of Turkey. So if you look at the commercial products and services, we are the export champion. So we actually invite you to join the party, because of these 275 companies, there is always someone on the campus looking for new innovative products and services to take you to new markets. So you might be a small startup, but there are larger companies here doing businesses across the world. So you can be their partners and they may help you go overseas as well. And yeah, there are many big names and small names. So Cisco, I already mentioned, Ingenico is here, so Vodafone is here, Asseco is a Polish company, they're here, Ericsson, as well as the Turkish companies of various sizes. So this is working like just one big team, more than 7,000 people. That's why we try to join the party. And in this science park, we run a number of startup programs. Because if we don't have a startup program ecosystem, this is just a building. So we don't want to be just one of the plazas in Maslak. This should be a vibrant ecosystem. And that's why we run a number of programs. At the very early stage, if you just have one idea and nothing more, Turkish government gives TÜBİTAK, Turkish Science Agency, Science Authority, they award you money for you to develop your prototype. This is usually for Turkish citizens, but you may join with the Turkish founders as well. And you can find a Turkish team member or Turkish co-founder, and you can well benefit from this support as well. So you just have an idea, nothing but an idea, but you need some money to develop your prototype. We will help you to find the Turkish co-founder, and you can have the prototype development support from the government. The rest, you don't need a Turkish co-founder with any of them. But only for this one, this is primarily for Turkish citizens. The rest, this is a pre-incubation program. This ITU Çekirdek, Big Bang and ITU Çekirdek, this is one big system that takes you from the idea stage or your prototype stage and brings you the first seed investment. This is a seed investment platform, pre-incubator, investment and incubator. This is an integrated system. And Çekirdek is in place for the last 7 years. We have been running the program for the last 7 years. And this year, more than 10,000 teams have applied with their startups. So only the best can enter here, but when they enter, they find a lot of different support mechanisms, and we help those startups to find their right investors. All seed stage investors of Turkey and the region, increasingly more from the neighboring countries, are registering to our investor list. And when a new startup comes in with certain keywords, we introduce them to the right investors who are looking for early stage ideas to support. So we help you find your seed investor, we help you find your first few customers so that your product is getting a market confirmation. So Big Bang is our big day, like this event. This is only, Big Bang is towards the end of, which month are we in? Okay, the 29th of November, there will be a big bang in Istanbul. It's a good bang. It's where the all good ideas will start. The top 20 will take the stage, pitch their ideas. There are some Turkish enterprises awarding also free money without any equity or something, just a simple award. These free money awards are decided on that day, as well as the investment decisions are announced in that platform. Last year, 17 million Turkish liras have been invested or awarded in the big bank to nearly 40 startups who are at either on the stage or on the event. And Çekirdek, the ITU Çekirdek is the world's best third incubator. According to a Swedish ranking institution, they rank all the university incubators across the world. Second time in a row, we have been awarded as the third best incubator of the world. The best incubator, according to them, is 8071 in Chicago, which is the Illinois University's collective incubator. All universities in Illinois have one incubator called 8071, which is a very big place and very big money. So they are the top incubator. The second incubator is in Holland, University of Delft. They have also strong government support and a large science park, and we are the third. And guess what? I think we will replace Delft pretty soon, I hope, because our numbers are going exponentially well. Startups are growing, receiving money, and as well as growing their businesses overseas. I have doubts about whether we can replace United States pretty soon, but the second place should expect us in the coming year. So this is the incubation. We take you from the idea stage, that's in a different building, not this one, and help you receive your seed stage investment and help you establish your startup. If you already have a startup, and if you already had your seed investment established, then you don't need this support. You need the second one. The second one, ITU Magnet here, this place, this is only for scalable but not scaled startups. What do I mean? You should have a startup, you should have a product. That product needs to have some form of market confirmation. Everything should look very pretty on the paper, but not in reality. So you have problems. You haven't scaled up yet. You have a problem, but you don't know why, where, and how you're going to solve that problem. We try to help you solve that problem. That's the whole mission of this place. So in this program, more than 10,000 projects apply. Only this year, there are nearly 200 startups establishing. Whereas here, we are taking more elite startups in, and we help every startup in person, one by one. We discuss their businesses and problems with them, and using VCs, consultants, and our people, we try to help you to solve your problem so that you scale your startup fast and go larger, become a larger business. So that's why ITU Magnet exists. We try to help scalable but not scaled startups to help them grow. And now another profile, Innogate. Innogate is, I mentioned this in the morning, so we do Innogate with government support, Istanbul Development Agency support. And we actually help, we don't bring startups to US, we don't move them. We keep them here in Istanbul, but we help them develop their business and commercial activities in the United States so that they look like an American company, but they are not. So if you look at, do we have an Israeli startup here? Israeli people are very strong in US. They have very strong American companies, but if you scratch the surface, they're actually developing their products in Israel. Because of some historical reason. I mean, we all know the past history and how the Israeli Jewish minority is very big in US. It has a historical background. We try to create this from another story. So we try to make Turkish, Malaysian, Pakistani, Greek, Bulgarian, no matter where they're from, startups of Istanbul, looking like American companies, doing activities in states to sell and market their product globally while developing their product here, because product development costs, average cost of an engineer is much cheaper here than what you might have in United States. And also we have the tax advantage, tax benefit. So you can enjoy the beauty of Istanbul, the cheap engineering labor, as well as the living conditions of Turkey, as well as the mobility to access your home country back very easily. and still sell your product globally to France, to Germany, to UK, to US with an American look and feel. So it's going very well. I will give you the numbers as well. And so that's, as you see, this is a staircase. So depending on at which stage you are, with these programs, we try to help you take the next stage and go global and get larger. That's our ultimate aim. So these are the numbers. It's going extremely well. So that's why we called it Big Bang. We couldn't find a big enough auditorium in Istanbul to host Big Bang because there's always more people outside trying to go in. So it's becoming tough. We also broadcast this event publicly, the event of Big Bang, and nearly 50,000 people watch it, almost entire program in every year's Big Bang Day. We also have a number of partners in Turkey. Now we are expanding this partnership program globally. You might have an incubator at your home country, home city. We might connect with them and may join the forces. At ITU, at ITU ARI Teknokent, we believe in network economy. We cannot do everything on our own. We have to get connected with you, with your incubator, with your home university, so that we do things better together. So that's why currently we have a partnership program in Turkey where we share resources, our training programs, our mentors, our resources, our investor knowledge, or startup experience. We share them with the local incubators and also invite their startups regularly and make them use our staircase system. So that's why we share everything we have, we share everything we learn, so that this should be a global development, not something we own. So we are open to sharing as well. And you see, at the beginning, Çekirdek was very small. So it was just 27 co-founders in 11 teams. Now it's almost, this year it's more than 500 the accepted teams into the incubator. So this is Çekirdek. This is Magnet. So right now there are nearly 60 startups hosted in this place. You have fixed tables, like the rectangle tables are the fixed ones. You have your own desk, you have your own stuff, you can leave them on the table. Whereas the circular tables are more like a library. You have to pick up your stuff, use the lockers, and leave it to other people to use. So that's an ongoing, vibrant ecosystem. And also, just we invite only scalable startups. There is a good community here. So people, startups help each other, maybe more than we help them. So that the community effect and the peer learning is very strong in both Çekirdek and in Magnet. So you should enjoy, if you accept our offer and we move to Istanbul to further develop your startup, I bet you will enjoy being part of this ecosystem because everybody likes it so much. And this is Innogate program. Previously it was ITU Gate. We started program with our own resources, and for the first 3 cohorts, you see it's free because we spent university money, a very large sum of university money, to learn what we are doing. These are the pilot trials to learn how we can really help a startup going to US, because that's a know-how you should develop. And we spent at the beginning our own money and learned the technique, learned the process, how we should be doing it. And after that, we turned the name of the program into Innogate and also joined forces with other science parks of Istanbul. There are other science parks as well in the Istanbul ecosystem. And also received the support of Ministry of Development as well as via Istanbul Development Agency. That helped us to grow. So we learned the system, we know what we are doing, and now with the government support, we are doing it much larger. Also bringing existing technology producers to US. Let me warn you, bringing your startup to United States for commercial purposes or whatever purpose you have is a very costly business. It's very expensive. So that's why you have to get ready first and manage your costs so that you survive in US longer. And this learning helped us to grow. Currently, many startups, currently more than 80 startups have visited, have taken the program, and almost half of them are actively selling and receiving traction, selling their products, doing export of technology products. We also have a number of partners in Europe too. Although Innogate is exclusively US oriented, you may ask why. Because US is the hardest market to do that. We help you receive experience in the hardest market so that maybe US is not for you. After this experience, you can develop your business in UK, Germany, or wherever you want, once you have the hardest experience. This is like a military game. So we help you get the most of the experience in the hardest technology market of the world. If you succeed, perfect, you can continue. If you're not successful, this very valuable experience helps you develop in other markets too. And we have a number of partners across the world, different science parks, different incubators. No matter where you go, I will find you a supporting incubator or a supporting science park and receive maybe not similar, but a wholehearted support in wherever you want to develop your business. So we might be your stepping stone to US or whichever market is best for your product. But I'm sure the best engineering market is here to develop your R&D. There's Italy here. Okay, so there are a lot of success stories. You wouldn't believe how much Turkish startups so far have been successful in bringing their technologies to US because we select them very. We consider a lot of different factors to make the right decision. So if you are not ready for US market, we tell you that. We are very open. We give you feedback about your deficiencies or the risk factors that you might have in bringing your startup to some or global markets. Once you're ready, we help you go that route. And these are the successful stories we had so far. Funnymate, for instance, currently, there are more than 8 million American girls using Funnymate app. That's in one of our buildings now. And they have a scoreboard at the wall. Every second, a few dollars are flying into their office because one girl is having an animated GIF of her video or adding some music, adding some animation, and voila, you earn more money. So they're going very well, one of the leading software exporters of Turkey now, and they started with this Çekirdek program as well as the Innogate. I won't tell you the details of all of them, which I see some eyes over here. I told you I can use the entire day telling the stories of this ecosystem. And Istanbul. Istanbul is beautiful. Istanbul is big. Istanbul is a very dense market, densely populated. It might have some traffic problems, but it also helps you access your customer in half an hour. No matter you do B2B or B2C, in 1 hour travel distance, you find a large business environment if you're B2B, or millions of people if you're doing B2C. So you can find your customer very easily in this big market, and that helps you to confirm your product to go further markets outside. And we have, I don't know how many universities we have in Istanbul. More than 50, nearly 60 universities are there. It's not only ITU. It's bigger than many countries as well. How much time I have? Past. Okay. So this is the prelude then. You have to come again. I have a lot of stories to tell, as you can see. But let me show you this. Turkish ecosystem is big. We have many incubators, many accelerators, many successful events and everything. And also, if you take it to league, so we are in the Super League. We are not in the Super League, not in the first league, but we are in the second league of startup ecosystem, which means we are less competitive. We don't bite you, we don't eat you alive, but we can help you grow into the further markets to grow your startup. And also in the Middle East, we are in pretty good condition if you are coming from the region. And so we are very dedicated to your success. So if we like your startup, we offer you some soft landing free. We evaluate your startup, and if you are doing sound business, for the first months or maybe half year, we can offer you displays and other support services for free if your startup is really good. For that, you have to apply for us, and we need to talk. So that we have, so that you can have all these lessons to prepare at home and sell in United States so that you are going to solve problems of the world. Because there are a lot of problems in the world, not only in your country, but everywhere. So you should be solving those problems and we should be helping you. So thank you for listening. If you want a copy of presentation, just send me an email on this address and all the slides will be shared. And I would love to respond your emails as much as I can because this is a pretty large event. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.